Wednesday, the 13th day of August 2025. A very good morning to you, as always, wherever you are joining us from, watching or even listening to us. Karibu sana to our show this morning, Matters Finances. When we speak money, everybody smiles. Money is good, isn't it? But this morning, we want to talk about why your financial privacy also matters. Yes, you have the money as a business person, as an individual, but then how, do you protect your data? So this morning I'm joined by an amazing panel. They'll be taking us through this, help us unpack this topic, understand what measures we should be taking just to protect our money. As much as we're transparent and all that, are we also vulnerable when it comes to transactions? So join me on 20316 SMS line 0786 316 316. That is our WhatsApp line. Be part of this conversation. And even as you help me welcome my guests this morning, Faith and Karumba. Karibuni sana.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Faith, I'll start with you to introduce yourself.
Okay, good morning, viewers. My name is Faith Mbogo, but I like to say the four names. My name is Faith Christine Wanjiru Mbogo. I am a mother of one, an 18-year-old, and I'm a financial advisor with ICA Lion Group.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Karibu, Karumba.
Good morning, our viewers. My name is Karumba Kinywa. I'm the CEO of Pine Hill Consulting, a Westlands-based firm that deals with investments, risk, and strategy consulting. Welcome to the show.
Wow. I think you're my co-host today, Karumba. Anyway,
nice.
Karibuni sana. Thank you so much for being here. And to start us off, Faith, probably you may just describe or explain to our viewers and listeners what exactly is financial privacy.
Okay. Financial privacy is protecting of your financial data. This could be your bank account number, your any detail that you use to create a finance avenue.
Yeah.
Like any details that you may use to create your bank account. That means your passwords, your KRA PIN, your ID. Yeah. So when we talk about financial privacy, it's how are you protecting that data, not to be accessed by a third party.
Okay. From a business point of view,
Yes.
Karumba, then how do you describe the same?
Yeah. From a business perspective, businesses generate a lot of data which is confidential.
Yeah.
For example, you have price lists, how much it costs you to supply your products,
Yeah.
where you buy your products from, your customer list, their passwords, they give you sometimes the ID. For
Yeah.
example, let's talk of a hotel. When you check in, sometimes they excessively ask for your own personal information. Then
Yeah.
that can be used to access your accounts. For example, the strategic plan of your company and operational plans that maybe you are planning to expand to a new venue, to a new location. They should only probably know after you've opened, because if they know probably you're planning to open a new branch in maybe Eldoret, Kericho, Mombasa, wherever, they could go there ahead of you and win your clients. So businesses have, tax returns, how much tax you are paying, how much you are pricing, who are your main customers, your bank accounts, because businesses get defrauded, sometimes even by internal staff who have no need to know some of the very private data, salaries, how much people earn. So it's confidential, because because you want that to be sometimes private, so that people do not know other people's affairs, which can expose your employees to risk.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite deep.
Yeah.
Asante. Now, Faith, when it comes to an individual, even businesses, as I was saying, there's vulnerability.
Yes.
How vulnerable are we to financial breaches?
Right now we are in a world where technology is the in thing. So many people are doing so many things online. So we tend to share so much of ourselves, online. So you can find people who do a lot of online shopping, So you've put in all your credentials there. I even know of a close relative who does online shopping, and then all of a sudden you're just seeing deductions from your account, yeah. And this is a shop, they had traveled and done some shopping somewhere, but because they put in their credentials, so somebody can access that data. So as an individual, how best do you protect that? So there's encryptions that you can use, yeah. Uniqueness, some unique numbers. Don't make your password so obvious. You know, like if somebody knows you and knows the names of your children or their date of birth, yeah, most people have
obvious,
a way to combine. They can combine firstborn and lastborn.
Yeah.
So if somebody sits with your data, they can be able to access. Yeah, so have unique characters. Don't do the obvious that somebody would be expecting you to do. The obvious. So try to do some encryption. Yeah. So that's how I would look at it.
Okay. I don't know if Mr. Karumbe has
Yeah, I have a comment. From a business perspective, some businesses have their systems have been compromised.
Yeah.
Whether it's their website domain name, and people have asked for ransoms, pay us a certain amount. Especially it has happened with SACCOs, with banks, with government departments, where maybe the protocols are a bit weak. And it's sometimes very embarrassing that either like your customers, the moment they land on your usual landing page online, they find maybe some inappropriate images, and people are asking, and they ask for money. Can you please pay us 2 million, 10 million for us to return back the passwords? Often people assume, let's say it's an insurance company or a fund management company, that they have money inside the organization.
Yeah.
For example, and that's what compromises, what causes hackers to go in and try and probably transfer the money.
Yeah.
We've heard of organizations losing money where people go in, financial institutions, and they're able to transfer the money, and it happens a lot in Saturday night when everyone is quiet, and they have a full day on Sunday when the institution is closed to move money across boundaries.
Yeah.
But right now, if you get compromised and data is breached, you have to report to the office of the data commissioner in Kenya.
Okay.
To tell them this has happened, and then they'll decide, how to help you, and probably there are some fines that businesses can be fined.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And this, compromise that happens, in the business, for example, then how does it affect the competitiveness of the business in the market?
Yeah, it does. It does, because in one East African country not too long ago, somebody was able to breach a financial institutions, and they were able to display loan balances that people owed the institution. First of all, it was embarrassing because people said, "Oh, I didn't know such a person had such huge balances that they owed somebody." And then the reputation risk that comes with it, because you don't want people to know your bank balances. You don't want people to know, for example, a hospital, sometimes it's also a business. If health data is breached, that can be really hurting to people, because if you're unwell or if you've sought some sort of medical advice, you want that to be private. And now when that happens, you lose all your customers, because nobody, people heard that you're in hospital. Even if it was a usual checkup, they may think that something is wrong with you. Data is a new gold, and somebody who has your data can actually be able to manipulate you. Yes, and that's why, unfortunately nowadays, when you go shopping, they ask you, do you have points? Do you have the card for points? They are taking how much you're shopping, how frequently you're shopping, what are your preferences, and where are you shopping from, so that they're able to stock your favorite products and maybe discontinue some of the products that you are buying. So what you buy in the shop is private, it's your own preferences. So that is also confidential. And I still think as businesses in general, we have a long way to protect the data. Who has access to the data? I had this instance where people have files and the cabinet is not locked, and anyone, let's say the cleaners, service providers, can just take away a file. You've seen sometimes when you buy groundnuts, they're being wrapped with very sensitive information, the wrappings, because they never shredded company data, and then those people get access to that information.
Right.
So data is very confidential.
Okay.
Yes.
Faith, let's talk about online banking and also fintech apps. Are we sacrificing too much information, too much financial data or personal financial data because of convenience, maybe?
Could be yes and could be no. Could be yes in the fact that there are those things that you can actually do for yourself. You really don't have to share all that kind of data. But again, could be no, because there are some, for somebody to be, let's look at a fintech sort of company that offers financial solutions.
Right.
I'd want you to give me the correct kind of data so that I can be able to align you with the correct kind of product. So if you don't give me the correct kind of data, as much as you're tapping in, I might give you something that does not fit you.
Right.
So there are those things we have to look at it and wonder, does this benefit me? And I mean, how does my honesty come into play here? Because you can find you see, like when we go to when you're entering a place, like when you're coming in here, you have to fill in your data.
Yes.
So you fill in your ID number, you fill in your... So if you could find a person who's malicious, what they would do with that data, would not be correct. But now look at it on the reverse. If something was to happen to me when I'm inside here, they'd want my correct data to be at the gate so that they can contact my correct next of kin.
Right.
But if I give the wrong data at the gate, then how are they be able to contact my my correct next of kin for them to know that they were your people inside here? So there are those times that you look at it and say, my giving the correct data here benefits me. But again, it comes now to the fintech company. How are they guaranteeing me that my information is not going to the third party?
Okay.
You remember, like these borrowing apps, they when somebody has borrowed and then they've defaulted, then they start message to your mother, your father, your boss. So they already have your data. So how are we going to guarantee people that is not getting to the third party? So what kind of measures are we putting in place as these fintech companies, and even me as I'm giving my data? Do I have a revolving password that will change with time? Maybe just for this transaction, after that it changes. So even me, I have to be proactive.
I like what you've said, but I wish it was a communication person here to tell us, Telkom, because that thing, how do they even access other people, my phone book, to get my people?
Somebody told me it's in the terms and agreements. It's in so there's a place you tick. And I think it's the fine print. So many people don't read fine print.
Exactly.
They don't read the fine print.
Exactly.
So somebody told me it is in the fine print. So they sync your data. So they have, it's just the way they used to do those phones that you're buying on credit. Then all of a sudden it stops.
Yes.
It stops working. Because they've synced their apps with that.
Let's talk about the leaked information you talked about, Mr. Karumba, in terms of there's this information that has leaked from whichever company. So then how can your competitor in business, for example, use this information to their advantage, unfair advantage at that?
Yes, exactly. So, for example, many people keep sources of their raw materials private. So if somebody knows the shop you buy your stuff from in China, they can approach them because I have this cup that I'm supplying Family Media at 300 shillings.
Right.
And your competitor, the best they can do is 500, so they'll never be able to sell. All of a sudden, they get some information of exactly where you source your material, how you produce it, so that you're able to offer it to their customer at a very lower price. They'll contact the supplier, and they're able to negotiate a discount. Secondly, if people know who your customers are, they can approach them and offer them a discount. For example, if I know that you normally buy vegetables for example, at 50 shillings a bunch, I can come in with better vegetables and say I can supply this at 45 shillings.
Right.
Would you like to test? And therefore, you lose your customer, and that's very, very important, especially for corporate clients.
Okay.
If people know, maybe within a large institution like this one, if I target this is a person who makes the decision and probably this is what they like. They like golf.
Yeah.
I invite them for a golf match, and then from there they are able to negotiate away the clients. There's a successful businessman, an American one, that says business is war. And the moment that somebody gets advantage of you through information, they're able to compromise. The best example I have, and I was once training in Eldoret, and this person came and told me, I used to work as a security officer for Coca-Cola in Atlanta. And one day somebody calls me, I pick my phone and I say that, sorry, I can't talk now, I'm at work. In less than a minute, the man was walked out of Coca-Cola offices and lost his job forever. Why? Coca-Cola has kept their formula secret through generations, the same with KFC, because that's their competitive advantage.
Right.
So your formulas, your pricing, your customers are very private. Your strategies, how do you conquer the market? Every business, including this one, has competitors. And if you release your secret sauce to the market, you'll actually be overcome. We consultants, sometimes somebody can tell you, send me your proposal. I just have a look. I'll not copy. The moment you give them the copy and probably present a better proposal than you, and then you lose clients. So business is competitive, and there are secrets that are there.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our banks and financial institutions, Faith, in terms of what role do they play probably in protecting or even exposing our data as their clients?
Okay, when you're there's some people who say they don't like to have the online banking on their phone, because you believe that you can be hacked, but as much as you have those apps on your phone, the Equity app, the Stanchart app, all those apps on your phone, it's causing convenience to you that you don't have to keep going to the bank to withdraw.
Correct. Yes.
So number one, you have to, even what I talked about earlier, to put maybe a changing password. How fast are you changing your password? But I also believe the banks should have a way to be able to, a third eye, to be able to see that these transactions that are happening are not correct. Like if you see, what hackers do is they enter your system and then they want to withdraw everything. So if I've been able to, my transactions are consistent, 10,000 here, 15,000 here, then all of a sudden I'm now removing 250. Or I'm removing 100,000, a day. So I believe they should be able to have red alerts or an alert, which I think they do nowadays, because you can find, you get a text or you've been told this amount is supposed, even when you bank a check, they tell you this is going to clear, or you get a call.
Right.
So they are trying.
Okay.
They are doing so many things. But you also advise people, there's something I usually say, avoid public Wi-Fi. Or public these connections.
Right.
Many people even enter matatus, and these matatus that have Wi-Fi, and the first thing they ask is, give me your Wi-Fi. You had better learn to secure yourself.
True.
Or even if you need to use that public Wi-Fi, on what apps are you engaging? You don't want to enter a matatu that is open to everyone, to the whole public, and then that is when you're getting to do your online banking. You're assigning things then, because even you'll see in your own house, even when you're sitting with your children or family members, and one of them Googles property in Kilimani. Even you will get such alerts. You'll start getting such alerts because of the proximity. So if we already know that happens, then we need to take extra measures. Even with we cannot just put all the blame on the bank. Because what is the bank doing? Then they've provided a service. Made it easier for you to do online banking.
Correct.
So you, if you want to pick up that, you know, nobody has held a gun on your head and told you have to use that.
At all.
Yes, it's you who has decided you've reached a point where I want easy, I want convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I want that convenience, what measures am I putting in place to ensure that even me I'm protected? Yeah. And there are so many things. Have a password that you're changing often. Yeah. Don't do here, there, like what you can even have those cards that have limits. Put a limit on your card, that if anything exceeds that limit, even you get a notification.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Karumba, I don't know. I feel like there's a very thin line between financial transparency
Yes.
and financial privacy.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes. Financial transparency is giving the right information to the people who need it. And the other one is?
The transparency and privacy.
And privacy.
Yeah.
Privacy is making sure that the wrong people do not access the information that you need.
Okay.
So often you may, for example, let's say I have met Faith, my neighbor here, and I need financial advice. I have to disclose my financial status very, very in detail so that she's able to build up a case, offer me the right product or solution.
Yeah.
But I have no business going to an ATM, and then I check my account, and then I drop that slip there with a couple of 100,000, and it's too much money because somebody could trail me and then force me to withdraw a lot of money just before midnight and then after midnight. Your own privacy in terms of finances means that you are responsible for sharing the right information with the right people. For example, let's say, and as you know, I've authored this book on intergenerational wealth. You are a matriarch, or you are a parent, a dad, a mom. Do people know what you owe? There are a lot of property now getting lost because no one knows. The truth is, they don't know that you bought this property. I once heard of a story where a landlord who used to show up end month passed away and passed on. And then the tenants discovered no one is coming. So, and then they declared the house is their own property because they are not alerted their family. So when we talk of financial privacy, do not give people information who do not need to know. Then transparency, give the right people the information they need. For example, do you have a place you've stored your title deeds, your policy for insurance and financial products, your bank accounts? Right now, there is a lot of money that is in unclaimed financial assets authority that's lying there. Why? People don't even know their own, they bought shares, they have accounts, they had jobs and they had pension, they moved on and they never directed how that wealth is to be disposed of. So let's give the right people the information they need to, and we should not give the people who do not need to know the information that they should. You cannot leave your credit cards information anywhere. Somebody can compromise them, your bank details, your M-Pesa PIN is very private. For example, often in this country, someone will call you and say, we are migrating our systems, and for example, key this number. You are being exposed to fraudsters. I saw just recently they have the fraudsters have become very sophisticated. They tell you, kindly pay for this, just key in your password. I don't know how they're able just to push a payment to you, and if you do that, you lose. So people will tell you, I'm calling from this telco, and I've sent money to your M-Pesa wrongly, and then they're telling you, please refund. We need to have privacy. I actually fallen prey to fraudsters.
You?
Yes, I did. I did once. I was looking to buy a car, and I went around, and somebody was asking about the hotel business. I went around leaving my details so that the next when they get the car I wanted, they called
can call
Yeah.
you.
Then after 3 days, somebody is giving me a lot of my personal information. You are Karumba, we were with you on Sunday, you are looking for this car, you wanted this car,
Oh,
that's
wow.
fine. Now, luckily, we have these cars that have arrived in Mombasa. We need money to clear them very urgently.
Yeah.
Would you be interested? And we love our cars and send this money so that we clear them and we'll give you a little discount.
Yeah.
And how they caught me, I was walking around with my cousin, and my cousin supposedly called me first from abroad. He works for an international organization.
Yeah.
And called me with a foreign number because they're able to check where the other person works. They say, I've traveled to this country. I'm calling you in the middle of the meeting. The people we spoke to on Sunday now have a very good deal for you.
Yeah.
Please proceed because I don't want us to keep on looking for these vehicles. So I paid some little money, which was a lot for me at that time.
Right.
Only for me to discover that those are fraudsters. So if you are going to, for example, checking into the hotel,
Right.
why does somebody ask you what kind of work do you do? It has no business in you booking a hotel room. Sometimes they ask for emails, your phone number, where do you live, and so much information that is very, very, privy to yourself.
Okay.
The information should only be requested on a need-to-know basis. And then do they destroy them? As my colleague here was saying, when we leave all that information in the entrance of a building, where does it go? How do they dispose of it the moment you leave after 10-15 minutes?
Okay.
Yes.
I like that because I've seen a question from online from our viewer or listener, and it's about that data in the hotels and all that. So we're going to be answering a question based on that. If you want to be part of this conversation, continue sending in your comments, feedback, and even ask your questions on 20316 SMS line 0786360316. That is our WhatsApp number, and we jump straight into our socials. And someone says here, Sally, good morning. The mail guest has mentioned that hotels collect data from customers during check-ins, and that can compromise one's financial data. Please ask him to give examples of the data, please, Mr. Karumba.
Yes, let me answer that question, and thank you for your question. Fraudsters use a strategy called triangulation. For example, if you call a bank, they'll ask you your date of birth. They'll ask you your ID number, they'll ask your email. So if somebody has that information, they're able to go and try is 3. Use what they know, what they have, and what the system needs to build a system to hack into your M-Pesa. For example, if you leave data, your ID number, you leave probably your date of birth, and somebody is trying to pass through a transaction through M-Pesa. Those are the basic questions that people use to be able to access the system. Because for you to be able to access a financial system, maybe open a, for example, we've seen where Facebook is hacked or your WhatsApp is hacked, for example. Let me give this example because it's very common, and nowadays I think, your Facebook is hacked. Why is it hacked? Your date of birth, probably your identity number, your full name is there. Somebody then goes into the system, you never change your password. The next minute they are sending messages to all your people in your phone book asking for money. What if they got it from a gate you left your basic data to access the system? Because often when we register, there's usually a question that is asked, a security question. It could be, which town were you born in? And then I've said, which country do you come from? Maybe I was born in Embu, I was born in Lokchogyo. If that is put there and somebody is able to access your WhatsApp, then they're able to send system saying, I'm in distress, please send 5,000, I'm in jail. And people send before they realize that you've been compromised.
Because the photo is there.
Yeah, the photo is there. Also Facebook, they actually are having your credentials.
Right.
And also your email can be hacked. We once got an email hacked, a place I was working. So that is how it happens. For example, if a large financial institutions, let's say an insurance company is hacked, they can email your customers, tell them, this month, please direct please direct your premiums to this account. There are some sad things that happen. For example, somebody has maybe you left some very sensitive information in a gate to where your child is. Then they call you, Sally, your child in boarding school is very unwell. The doctor, they can't even talk. The doctor is saying send money for a quick x-ray, and you come very quickly. And that happened to my cousin, and halfway to Nyeri, they realized it's a scam, and they had already sent money. They were very annoyed. They can't do that unless they know your child's name, your school they are in, and your phone number.
True. You know, I'm laughing because as I was laughing at you being scammed, I was scammed the whole day. And I was like, in fact, I probably the first time going public, I was scammed in January of last year. And the person came to me with, you know, a lot of every information where I was working at the time. My profession, everything. So I'm just laughing because we can all be duped. You know, we can all be duped. Yes. Stay woke, as they say.
You trust, but you verify.
Can I tell you something? Last night, my former high school mate kept on calling me, asking for an amount that is so embarrassing for me not to say no. They forgot that just last week when they were drunk, they called me with the same story. And I put it in my ear, WhatsApp group saying, has this person been calling people asking, let's say for 500? Yeah, because it's a scam. They forgot. They called me telling me I'm buying a bed for 5,000. It's being auctioned. I have 4,500. Which scammers have they create trust in you. That's their key. That's their key goal. When they tell you I'm calling from a telco, they create trust. I'm a friend of your friend, and there's what we call in scamming affinity circles. Either a church group, that's why, or your club or your friends. We are in this thing together. Can you please just contribute, and we'll tell you how it works. So they called me last night asking for, let's say, some little money because they're in an emergency, and they promised first thing tomorrow, as soon as they're able to access their bank account. Obviously, I said no, because I teach people about scamming. I help organizations avoid fraud and data breaches, so I can quickly pick that out.
Once bitten, I know you're here. So there's someone here saying, hi Sally, I know someone who got support for critical illness and the husband started harassing her for it as unwell as she was. How can someone access this kind of information without being told? She deemed it very private. Is there a legal way to deal with this? They were not in good terms. Faith, please take on that.
Okay, thank you for your question. Now, that amount for critical illness, first we need to understand where it came from. Was it support from just people around her, maybe friends sending to the WhatsApp, or was it something that came from she had an insurance cover that had critical illness, and then now she's been paid that lump sum. Okay, so if it came from friends or people around her, it could just be one of those people who are saying that maybe met with the husband somewhere and said, how is your wife going along? What is happening? How is she taking treatment? We were contributing from her, and then now he got to know that information. Okay, and if this money then came from an insurance company, then we need.
He says support from the employer. Yeah, they've actually texted to say support
very
from
good.
the employer.
So now this is support from the employer. If that money came from the employer, how is this guy getting to know that that information? So if you could work it backwards and try and find out how he got it. But one thing you need to know, he has no right to that money. So whether he's threatening her or not, he has no right, because she's the employee. The employer was giving her for it. So she could even have talk to the employer for them to deal with that. Most employers have securities for that, for such things. They have securities for that thing, so she can go back to the employer and just give the story and say that you send me money, it came to my number, but now my husband is aware of it, and then now he's threatening me, because the employer will put those things down and say the money, first of all, was made for your critical illness. It wasn't supposed to support the family in paying education or doing what. It was for your treatment. Maybe you're seeking a second second opinion, maybe you're going to help for that medicine, or you're getting helpers to assist nurses.
Yeah.
That is what it's meant for.
Okay.
So he has no legal right to that money whatsoever.
So from the employer, then the legal basis starts from the employer.
The employer,
because
you
he's
go
the one
back.
who-
Yes,
All right.
because if it had been given by an insurance company, they'd go back to the way the claim was paid.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you share my information with anybody else like that?
Okay.
So just probably to add that,
Sure.
in Kenya we have a Data Protection Act of 2019, where one of the clauses is that data must be processed according to the right to privacy. And if that's not done, there is a fine of 3 million, up to 3 million, or a jail term of 10 years.
Wow.
If HR, because a lot of private or personal confidential data is with HR,
Yes.
they have not secured their data, or maybe during a move, when people move, they give access sometimes to third parties to the files. Some of them can get lost on the way.
Yeah.
Then they have a right to go to the commissioner of data and report the husband that this person is harassing me, and they access the data, and action will be taken.
Okay.
And actually they should also go to the police and report it as a criminal offense, because there's already an act that protects your private data.
Okay.
And how it's accessed. Yes, and then the commissioner can do an investigation saying, how did this happen? They probably send a letter or investigators to the company, and they drill down to it.
Okay.
Because it's unfortunate that somebody can be harassed when they have critical illness.
Right. Kabisa, that's quite, an impact.
Even the husband himself is not correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's Ruth Miriam saying, good morning, Sally. Wow, I love this topic and it's rarely discussed. Thank you for this. Thank you, Ruth, for watching. We appreciate your feedback. There's also Akisa Inyele who says, good morning, Sally and the guest. A very important topic indeed. How do I spot fake emails or calls pretending to be from my bank? And I think you had touched on something to do with the emails.
Yes, fake emails. I'm consulting for an organization where they keep on sending fake emails to see whether we'll click. The moment you click, they take you for additional training. So fake emails normally have fake emails. Fraudsters have an element we call pressure.
Yes.
They pressure you to make a decision quickly. So a fake email, gives you this invoice that you should give us data we pay very quickly for somebody you never supplied to.
Yeah.
Fake emails also tend to come overnight from people that you do not know, using emails that are not familiar, and they could add one letter that is very hard to pick out to the fake email, and it just looks like the email came from, let's say it's, for example, this institution, Family Media.
Yeah.
And then says they could add something like Family Media Nairobi or Kenya, which is probably not part of your emails.
Yeah.
And then some of them also have names that are very generic.
Okay.
Name like Sally, John, that you think that usually an organization will have that. They also like you to click on a link. That's a very common one that you do not aware. Click this to confirm your details.
Okay.
Be always very aware when you click on those links. Sometimes could come, often when you open an email, they say, my name is so and so, I was left a very huge fortune and I need 10,000. Now, if somebody has a very huge fortune, why would they need 5,000? It's better they process that fortune and then they give you the rest.
5,000.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
The second part. What is the second part of the question?
No, she asked about that and calls pretending to be from
the
bank.
calls. So if I get a call from, this is my own personal trick, it's worked very well. If somebody calls me from a telco, I say, I also work there. So I ask first, which branch are you in? They tell me, oh, I'm on 3rd floor. Can I meet you? We talk. They normally cut the line immediately. Normally now our telcos, our bank institutions have given us a number that we can always know that the calls are from them. The other thing is, if something is that serious, tell them I'll come to the branch, physical branch, and then get assisted. And because all branches are interconnected, that can prevent fraudsters, whether online and finance and what sort of fraudsters. They use pressure techniques. They tell you, if you say call me after an hour, sometimes you prevent 99% of them calling you because they tell you, make a decision now, give us a password now. We are migrating systems. Indeed, a lot of this information is already in your access. You can ask a simple question: what do you already know about me?
True.
Yeah, and that will, because remember, fraudsters need you to cooperate. Yeah, to cooperate, and then if you say something, I'm just from there, why do you need more additional information? Yes. Also, they're also not polite. Is it a good time to talk? They can't ask you that because they need to be very fast.
Exactly. And I think because of time, that's quite a bit. And I know Akisa has benefited from that information. I love that fact that you turn things against. I'm from there, I'm on third floor. So use all those tricks, Akisa, to just put these guys away. And remember, they're also very rude. The moment they start abusing you, language.
Very good.
Anyway, let's get to, it seems the interactions, we'll deal with that basically the whole of this part 2 of this show. Someone says, good morning, I'm curious about the risks I face as an entrepreneur of not protecting my financial data, and how can financial privacy impact my personal freedom? What's Karumba's number, please? I lost it watching from Dar es Salaam. And they go ahead and say, Faith, I need info if you have insurance to cover my financial data. And probably, Faith, you can speak to that. Is there an insurance?
Yes. There's an insurance, cybersecurity.
Okay.
Yes, that helps you protect your financial data.
Is it? 2
ways.
Okay.
One, that you can lose your personal data and somebody can scam you. Yes, so it can pay. Second one, you can, a scammer can come in and use the data that you have for clients and use that data to scam them.
Okay.
So if the client comes to sue you, then at least you're protected.
You're covered,
with that cyber security.
Okay.
And a lot of it is it happens so much. It happens so much that like maybe somebody who's doing manufacturing and then they want to come and supply products here. Okay. Then you people already have a supplier on board that you use. Somebody can be able to, and they really want that tender. They really want you to give them that business.
Right.
They can come in and see the preferred person that you've been using, the prices that they're quoting, and then they quote that. So that person can cite unfair advantage, because how did that person get the information to be able to quote this? You see, so then we are able to have that. Insurance is a very good thing for people to have, a very good one.
And Faith, you as an advisor, then how do you also protect your clients' data, you as Faith?
Okay, first of all, me as Faith, right now, most of even the things that we are doing is a lot of it is online. So we don't do paperwork anymore. Because that paperwork can land anywhere. And for me, having you to fill that paper, and then maybe I've come here with it in my diary, then somebody decides to take a picture. So number one, we do away with a lot of paperwork. Then there's what I see Lion is doing right now. They are sending a link to the email that you've given. So that email, you're able to, that you click on that link, then you're able to look at the details that you want, and it is encrypted. It is encrypted, and you set, like, there we have a portal for clients. We don't create the password for them, so we send you the link and then you're able to create for you. So it doesn't save on our server at all. Yes, it doesn't save on our server at all.
Fantastic. Quickly, let's touch on they're saying they're curious the risk they face as an entrepreneur of not protecting their financial data.
Yes, as an entrepreneur, the risk that you face in not protecting your financial data, for example, a staff member can walk away with their client list and be able to sway the clients away from you. As Faith was saying, somebody can take the data that you have. Let's say it's a high-end hotel, restaurant business, and then they start calling your customers, offering you other products. For example, expensive cars. And if you are reported that you are the source of data breach, then what that means that you can find. You can be fined. I see people who sometimes put their passwords, they write them and then put them below the case.
Yeah.
One of the biggest lead of data compromise is the written passwords. And I know we have so many passwords that are hard to keep in mind. But you can have apps that helps you protect your password with just one place instead of writing them down. Because once they get access to that, then they will be stolen from. As a business, your business plans, I see some people put their strategies online and your competitors can pick up that. Your customer list, what they bought, because if somebody is leaving your business to go work for a competitor, it's illegal, but sometimes it happens, and soon you see people have been swayed away from you.
Fantastic. I'm glad that we've actually tried to touch almost on every feedback that we've got, but the last one here is, hi Sally, I lost 240,000 from my Equity Bank account back in 2018. The bank statement showed I had done withdrawals using ATM, which I had never even applied for. The money was lost on 5 transactions that happened within Nairobi CBD, close to where I worked at the time, and at Garden City Mall and Kasarani, which is within my locality. Could this be a case of someone who hacked my information and acquired ATM, or is the bank simply stealing from me? Faith, very quickly.
In fact, this one, you see ATM, they have the cameras. Did she go back to the bank? Because going back to the bank could help.
They would trace it.
They would trace it and see who, because if your statement is saying ATM and it's even showing the locations, they are able to go through their CCTVs and check that location and see who was withdrawing.
Yes.
It has happened to somebody I know. The way you get a bank card and then the way it comes in an envelope and you never use it. So it's able to show that this is a person who was at the ATM because the bank statement has the time and location. So the CCTV is able to go back there. So that is the first step, that they're able to go back there and see. It might take you a process because you need to go and report it, get the abstract. But I mean, if 204 is a lot of money, yes, and it is your money. So you can actually do it. Go, get that, and then now you go to the bank. And they need to be able, because even as bank has cyber security, and ATM is an online system.
Exactly.
Yes, so they're able to tell you.
It means his information or her information was hacked.
Yes.
So this is a familiar, what we call familiar hacking. Somebody who probably was working in the building, they probably leave their wallet in the office, or send somebody, I don't have time to go to the ATM, can you quickly rush and withdraw money for me? So because it was happening within where they work, it means that probably somebody was slipping out the ATM and maybe cloned it, and then they would go and withdraw the money very, very quietly.
No, for her, she's never had an ATM.
Oh, yeah.
She has never had an ATM.
They've never had an ATM.
This ATM was created at an Equity Bank. It was created.
So it's info from within, probably.
So first you start by checking that CCTV. Who? Then you can be able to, and there's a department that creates the ATMs.
Correct.
Yeah, because your ATM, I have an account with the Equity, and I know how the ATM comes. They send for you in an envelope. With there's a number happen.
You have to scratch.
Yes.
Okay. Time, and I think I'll just give you 30 seconds, Karumba, to give us your parting shot, and then Faith, and then we close this amazing, interesting conversations. We can go on until
Okay. Thank you. I think thanks very much for this, for the invitation. The data that you possess, somebody is looking for it. Whether they are simply asking you, you've won a reward for purchasing stuff here.
Right.
That's very important. But when you lose your personal information, what you do is immediately make sure that either you file a statement, because your ID and information can be used to harass other people and your phone line. But please don't share information unnecessary to the people who do not need to know, and destroy your documents safely. I've seen people who just take important records and then throw them in the dustbin. Then somebody can come and pick and then begin
do
to
whatever they want
access information.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Faith.
Okay, for me, when it comes to I just want people to trust but verify. Always verify and listen to your gut feeling. If you feel that this email is off, take a minute back and analyze. And even these people who call you and ask you, give me your ID number, you're the one who is calling me.
Yeah.
Tell me what you have of me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That is it.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. Verification. Very important. Don't just receive calls and, you know, blurt out your information, your data. So be very careful. And thank you so much for being part of this amazing conversation we've learned together. And thank you for always making time to give us your feedback and ask your questions. To our partners again, asante sana for just walking with us, holding our hands and making us be able, enabling us to bring you such amazing content throughout the day, throughout the month, throughout the year. I want to say a very big thank you. And if you want to be part of this amazing community or ministry, you can do that by sending the word partner to 20316 SMS line or 0786 316 316. That is our WhatsApp line. And also, if you want to support us in any way, your data will be safe, by the way. You can do that through Coop Bank. And we have an account with Coop Bank, and that is it is already displayed on our screen, so you can go through that and send in, and the account number is TBN Family Media. God bless you and keep you. See you again tomorrow on Matters Relationship Clinic. We'll be talking about rediscovering each other with the Achokis. You don't want to miss this. God bless.